you don't really have to have so-called the chief appraiser if they go by the amount of parcel that you have. And if you appraise a 3 in the office, then for the amount that they got and we got, then that's all that you have to get a digest payment.
In fact, in our county, we're a class 2 county. The number of parcels that we have, we're only required by statute to have a appraiser 3. You have to choose appraiser 3. So, and having an outside contract is almost the same, it's like having another appraiser on staff because.
Well, I mean, it is. It costs more than, or as much. You know. Well, I don't reckon would if you took and looked at the benefits and the insurance and the vacation and holidays and all, but otherwise, it'd be close.
The big thing is getting them out to do the field work that they haven't done before, which we have to.
How you doing, man?
Good, you?
Doing great. Hot.
Yes. The worst part about it in the morning at 7 o'clock, it'll be the same way. It has been real humid and real hot. I mean, for the temperature to just be in the 80s and 90s, it's just extra hot. I couldn't imagine them boys without fire last week.
No, sorry.
Suits on and all.
I'm just saying, that's amazing that nobody was hurt, didn't suffer a heat stroke and that equipment they were on. And see what our community is blessed.
Yes,
It could be a lot worse.
Hello, 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 hello. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Hey, everybody got bed.
It's fine.
Here.
Oh, no, I want to get in front of the camera. How y'all doing? It's just cool how you bring it agency.
You got it clear to get in down there and go around and get.
How are you?
Yeah, but she's on vacation this week.
You working?
Yeah, I used to get off.
It's all working then.
Yeah, I got off early. Well, I take a shower, it was a hot day.
Okay. I'll look it up something like this, 7:30, 8 o'clock before I get in. Okay. Which I have some information on. I try to keep it with form. I know I did some work for a long time ago, so I should have them.
What about the city hall? They have a roof on it. I have been
I
inside.
said that,
They have open house.
chief appraiser.
Y'all will they post on the GAO or whatever they have to post on the GLGA site.
Bye, Jack. I'm about to have to
Their name.
The other thing with the zoo. What would be in there? This year needs some work on that.
Go back. Voted on.
But he was from back then. And he was coming here to somebody down in Georgia. And they take him from here down there from here all the time. And get back to Houston.
Champion person.
I don't think he got hurt as bad as the lady. I said, man, I don't think he got hurt. The sheriff officer. I know he got hurt somewhere, because they took him back around, but they flew the other one. They flew him out.
Glad you guys showed up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I sure am glad you guys showed
We appreciate it.
up. You'll do some good.
But they, I know they had $3 flying all those other ones, but they told her she was the first. This morning. But he was the same guy. They go so much.
He's got more help.
It don't make It was close enough with the siren and light going. They had cash y'all out, but it was too fast because of that curve. He said, hey, you don't let them know if you're out now.
Even the car coming too fast.
Y'all ladies do it.
But to be honest with you, on Public Street, I don't think it's very
Where did it come from? Okay. They are.
No, I didn't hear. Huh.
It was good.
They need to know whether to deny it or not.
This is the regular monthly business, you have to have the county board of commissioners. Here.
She said she was, don't make the change, she couldn't make it, she got a hospital appointment.
We can call the ordinance.
Well, see, she told me, because I don't have to pick up.
Discuss
She a cost.
this meeting and take care of the county business. We pray that it's done in a way that would always be pleasing to you. We pray for our country, our counties, our states, Lord, that you would always just have a hand in anything that they do. We ask you to take charge of this meeting, have your will and your way in it. In the name of Jesus, we do amen.
Wonderful news, pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next matter here is approved minutes for the May 19th and June the 5th meeting. They made the motion. Bruce is second. All vote for May 19th and June the 5th. Next, approve or deny the financials.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your packet that you received, you have several things. First, you have the fund balance, showing that we have $1,000,007 in the Heritage account and a small residue of $1,900 in the Southeastern account. Then you have the remaining funds listed below. You have a copy of the revenue and expenditures budget through May. We'll be updating this in the next week or so when we do the last payroll of the year and have one more expenditure factor. We'll be seeing, well, let's go and approve this first, and then I have a comment about this portion of it.
John need a motion to approve the financials. He made a motion, 1 second, all those. Administrator.
Thank you. To go back to the revenue and expenditure report, we will be sending out towards the end of next week after we do the final payroll and the last expenditures check run, a budget amendment report to show the, to reflect some departments that might be a little bit over budget where we have to move some money around. We're also going to move the recreation, towns, bluff, and golf course from the funds that they were in actually into the budget process. We already moved those funds, now we're just going to do the budget amendment. I'll send those out to you. I don't think we'll need to call a meeting, but I'll have to poll you to get 3 votes to approve those budget amendments when they come out. The reason we're doing that is, one, we're required to have a budget amendment to our revenues, that every division has to be budgeted. They have to have the money actually allocated that they spend. And that's one of the reasons, one of the problems we had in the audit last year, where we had some departments, say, for example, recreation, that when we put the two firms, put them together, moved them to the county, we didn't do a budget, and that's why they showed like they were so high over the budget, when we actually did the budget and just put them together. So we're going to make sure we have that correct this year. We're going to pull all those funds together and get the actual amendments so you'll see exactly what's spent and how we have to move some money around. And that should be out by the end of next week. We'll wait just for one more payroll. Next week, we have a DOT meeting for the State Transportation Improvement Program. The chairman and I will be going to that in Jessup on the 26th. We'll be receiving the final 2015 LMIG dollar amount. It should be around $450,000 is what we're hoping. a slight little bit increase from last year. That will pave or resurface about 4 miles. This grant is going to be due in July. Back to the state, so what I'll need from the commissioners are a list of roads that you would like us to look at, and that we would prioritize and grade out as put for our 2015 big projects. The safety striking and marker project, this is that federal highway safety money. The state authorized about $225,000 in the grant to us. We put it out for bid. Pete from Columbus was the low bid with $189,999. Mid-State was the highest with $225,000. Pete had all the conditions for the award, so I asked you to award that to Pete. There's no county money involved in this whatsoever, and I've asked the county attorney to look at the state contract and the contract so we can send that off to Pete and get that safety striking and signed project in the process. So I looked at an amendment to award that to Pete with no county money, but all federal and state money to be approved so we can put that contract.
Okay, we can't get the difference between 190 and...
I asked. I asked. That was because a few years ago they let you do that, but this year with this federal it's restricted. I tried to say, well, can we add extra miles?
Yeah.
We could.
And he's painted it with the...
It's not painted, it's thermoplastic.
It's going to be the thermoplastic, that's what I want to make sure.
Thermoplastic.
And we couldn't change the roads.
No, this is roads that they've identified. It has to be part of the federal highway system, and it's roads that they've clearly identified. It's 34 miles that they've identified and signed. Now, what we can do when Pete is over here, or we're negotiating, or we're signing the contract with them, if while they're here you want to add some projects on there strictly to be funded for county money, we can always negotiate a side or a separate contract with them to do that, but that would have to be a separate issue. That would be post run for this. But that's that. If we have something close by to what we're going to be doing, we may be able to negotiate prices so they don't have to reestablish their startup cost.
Well, we got to fit a road that's coming up the next 2 or 3 years. It's got to be, it's going to be paved anyway, so be kind of foolish going to strike roads and come back up here just like we did.
And the other thing is, I talked about the budget amendments, and that was the gist of my report, Mr. Chair.
Okay, on the budget amendment, when you call, if you're going to call and get 3 to okay.
I'll talk all 5.
Okay, talk to all 5, but you got to get 3 yeses. You're going to be able to tell us the reason. I mean, they're going to come in and tell you why they went over budget, and I want to know why they went over budget. I mean, maybe a good reason, or it was just looseness or whatever.
I'll have to. As I've identified it, right now I've looked at about 3 departments that look like they're going to be slightly over, and I will get with them to figure out what's going to be. I know there's been, I found out today there's been some new costs that's going to go into the fire department because the equipment we lost out at the fire this past week. We're going to have to replace some foam and different things. And I just don't know what kind of budget they have. That's going to have at this point in time. Hopefully we'll recoup that with insurance at some point, but these are we lost quite a bit of hose. We used all the foam that we in the city had, and so there's some stuff we've had to replace this week that I don't have a final budget impact of that yet.
Problems that we had, so Tommy could actually put it in there.
Sure. Well, the big problem we had was the recreation department and the golf course and the Towns Bluff, not so much, but recreation. When we were bringing those in from a separate group into the county mainstream budget, I went back and forth how it was going to be budgeted as a separate fund and a general fund. It got budgeted. The county budgeted their tax portion we were going to dedicate to those departments. They had a separate budget. When it got merged, the budget figures looked just like what the county contribution was. And that made it show that we were significantly over budget when the actual audit when it was done because we weren't comparing apples to apples. So it was just kind of, we did do a budget amendment when we merged this recreation department with a separate fund. into the general fund, and we combined the budgets appropriately last year when that took place. That was done sometime last March and April of last year.
So that was the reason
That was a good portion of it. In fact, I know the recreation law was probably one of the budget amendments we had to do this year. They're about $20,000 short on revenue and $20,000 over on expenditures right now. And a lot of that is some line items for equipment and uniforms and some travel. And they've got some other expenditures coming up that we're going to have to look at. So they're one of the record budget amendments I know that we have to do this year. So the big thing was just the problems with putting it into the right accounts last year and actually doing the budget amendments that were required to do.
Next thing on the agenda is reappoint Thomas McHugh to the DFAC board. He's been on this thing for years and years and years, and he's asked to be reappointed. They've also asked him to be reappointed. So we need to make a motion to reappoint Mr. Thomas McHugh. Roach made the motion, Steve second, all vote. Next on the agenda is reappoint Richard Stone to the Joint Development Authority. Richard's been on there, I think it's Richard's second term, if I'm not mistaken. He's asked to be reappointed also by the Development Authority as well as himself to be reappointed to the Development Authority.
Is that going along with their bylaws?
They made a motion to reappoint. One second, all vote. Next, we've got another appointment on the Development Authority, Mr. Wayne Kramer. He's also asked to be reappointed as along with the Development Authority to be reappointed to the Development Authority Board. Steve made the motion. Rex second, all vote. This, Doug, you're gonna have to explain a little bit to us, because I'm kind of in the dark on this thing.
Okay. This is their release that has come to us from the appraiser staff and also the chairman of the Board of Assessors. This is on a personal tax property on a striping machine that was purchased here in 2002. It went on the Personal Property Digest in 2003 based on the UCCs through the clerk's office. The basic details are that Mr. Carter borrowed the money for his brother to purchase or someone in his family to purchase the striping equipment. The striping equipment was taken to Macon. There's a bill of sale that took place in 2003. June 27, 2003, where the purchase man who owned the equipment sold the equipment in Macon. The taxes, the property kept on the tax digest until 2008 when it was removed. The former chief appraiser did not send the proper area release through to be processed. This gentleman, it stayed on his tax bill. This is basically, the last bill was 6 years ago. And it's causing some problems now because the tax commissioner is doing her job, is following up on these old tax bills and did a FIFA on this. Right. Did a FIFA on this, and it caused a problem with Mr. Carter's, this year, caused a problem with his credit. So he thought it'd be taken care of until he got a FIFA. The property was not his. It was actually never, to the best of our knowledge, in Jeff Davis County after it was originally purchased. It was moved out. I have a bill to sell in 2003, but so to the best of my knowledge, Mr. Carter never actually had a property. He was just trying to do a favor for a relative and borrowing the money. The equipment wasn't here, and we need to get an area release so Susie can do the proper, or so the tax commission can do the proper the appropriate steps were removed from the tax digest.
When I first heard of it and saw it, I went to Susie's office and checked with her, and she had told me what history she had on it. Then I went over to the tax assessor's office and asked Kathy, and he thought that he had come and talked to Tom 4 different times, and Tom was gonna take care of it, but never did. And he went and borrowed the money is how, if you don't know what a UCC is, where if you borrow money from the bank, they come down and put it where you can't sell it or whatever. And that's how they picked it up. But the equipment never was here. It was in Macon, Georgia. And he sold it within 3 months and paid the loan off, because I talked to the banker. He was at a different bank at that time. And now he's at Omaha, but that he paid it off, and his brother-in-law had bought it, but the person wouldn't sell him the equipment, so he sold it to this gentleman here. And so he sold it then to his brother-in-law, and he never owned it, and it never was here. And Miss Susie can say that he's come and tried to get it taken care of a good many times, but I wanted to go and make sure that it wasn't just where somebody didn't overlook it or didn't pay attention to it. But everything that I checked in on, checked out. The equipment never was here, it was on a trailer in Macon. The tag was bought for the trailer. The person never claimed the equipment in Macon, but and yet it still wasn't Mr. Daniels. So I make the motion, the Board of Assessors will got to sign a letter in your package there, that where they have asked Chester to sign as the chairman for us to do away with it, and I make the motion that we do.
Wayne made a motion to Rush second, Steve all vote. Next on the agenda is approve or deny the Georgia Indigent Defense Services Agreement. That's the agreement across the hall, isn't it?
Right, this is with the Indigent Defense. This is through the, it's through this court circuit. This is just a renewal of the prior contract. It's got an increase of about $1,900 just because of some adjustment in state retirement that they had to adjust to. But basically, it's the same contract that we have, and then we pay for a prorated share based on the population of Glen and all the counties that are part of the circuit.
We need a motion to approve it. Wayne made the motion. Second.
Second.
Steve, second, all those. Next thing on the agenda is approve the deal, approve or deny the renewed rental agreement between the Department of Corrections and Jeff Davis County. That's where we get the prisoners.
No, this is actually a lease on a building over here at the James Carter Center, where the Department of Corrections is leasing a certain piece of property from us, 2,500 square feet. This is for a 4-year basis, and this is the end of the 4th year, so this is just a renewal. They will continue occupancy the next 4 years.
This is the adult part, right? In the back, we got a youth in the front. And then, yeah, I mean, it's broke up into two. We rented the 2 different ones. The youth is in the front, and then adult probation's in the back. I'm pretty sure this is.
This is for all. This one for
It's for 25. It's 2,500. 2,600 square feet of that. I'm not sure that's the entire building. I think it's just that.
What it was, they was all together, but the adult and youth can't be together, so they have to divide it. Make a motion to approve it, go ahead and do it at the same time we mentioned.
Wayne made it, Steve seconded, all vote. Let's go. Doug, up the bids for the new albums. Where's Ronnie at? There you go. We only got one bid, is that right?
Yeah, as far as this is on the list. The bid is from Custom Truck and Body Works, Woodbury, Georgia. The bid is for $125,053 even. No trade-in included with that.
So how much?
125,053.00. Of course, we just opened this. My recommendation would be based upon verification by Mr. Giles, myself, that it meets all the criteria that we set this award with that conditional. But I want to verify this guy. He said he wanted it here, but they put it in here.
You know, Ronnie needs to look over that, make sure.
Just additional on that. And then,
The last time you had one, we let the coroner have it. And you'll have an ambulance now, and he said no trade-in. Are you going to do something?
I got it. I sent out 3 different bids, one to Peach State, one to Northwestern Emergency Vehicle, and one to Custom Truck and Body. Custom Truck and Body is the only one that sent back one that they was interested in selling us the vehicle. I have a private owned ambulance service that's interested in purchasing the, if you want to take one, that's interested in purchasing the truck that's up for.
What year model that you got trade, that you got now?
9 or 10?
I believe it's a 06, I believe. Or no, it might be a 9.
9.
9, okay.
Yeah. About what we usually get on trade-in.
Not sure. We normally get somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 on trade-in,
No, it was less than 10, I thought it was.
and they're giving 14 to 1, I believe.
That's right, what we've been getting.
Usually less than 10, I thought it was, I'm not sure.
the only thing I'd be interested in is this quote. There's a citizen here about repairing, making a repair on that.
Correct.
Is there a cost?
Custom Truck and Body Works is going, I called them and let them know that there was a weak place in the floor, and they was going to repair it, but it was going to be out of service for around 30 days, and because they got to take the floor out and put a new one in. They're going to do it at no cost to the county. And I told them that I couldn't take it out of service for 30 days. So since it was so close up to trade, that's why I waited till we're going to take it down there and let them repair it.
So the company that we're going to be getting ambulance from is going to, once we purchase this and get this in service, and take this out, we're going to send this out for repair, and then a month later, after it's repaired, we're going to sell it to this medics for this price that they quoted you.
Correct. And,
That's what we're trying to do.
sir?
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the Custom Truck and Bodies, they're the company that we've been buying all of our ambulances. We've got five of their trucks under our base, and we hadn't had any problems with them. They've been doing us good service so far.
I don't have one problem, that we're gonna draw up some kind of contract and let them sign it. I'd hate that we order another ambulance, which we're gonna order one anyway, but we could trade it in, but that they, I mean, I don't care if they don't have to put no earnest money down or whatever, but we draw up a contract, out Ms. Carla, and them sign it, saying that once we get the floor fixed, get it back, they're gonna give us $14,100.
Okay.
So I'll modify if I may, I'll modify my recommendation to one, based upon the review of the contract, that it meets the appropriate standards for requested, that we purchase this new ambulance and that we declare the 2009 E350 ambulance surplus.
We need a motion to approve it, subject to Ronnie and Doug and them going over all the specs, make sure we get them.
What we're supposed to, what we asked
Supposed
for.
to get them.
Right.
I make a motion.
Steve made the motion. Rush second, all vote. Next thing on the agenda is approve or deny a resolution capping the probate judge's violent records compensation.
Yes, based on previous conversation, the county is authorized to change as needed the compensation retained by the probate judge for the service of providing vital records to the citizens. I've got a resolution here that was drafted by a clerk that quotes statutes that basically puts that limit to the legal statute limit of $7,500, that will be the limit that he'll be able to retain, and all the other fees, vital record fees, will come to the county and go to the general fund. Since this is going to be a change in his, not his compensation, but a change in what he's taking home, this resolution is recommended that it take place on January 1, 2015. That gives does a couple times. One, it gives a date certain that's going to happen. It gives him some time to make adjustments. I'll have a conversation with the probate judge so he's aware of this, and he fully is cognizant of the fact that it's within the purview of the commissioners to make this decision.
Is this taxpayers' money that's paid in?
This is, it's not, it is personal, it is personal.
Individual.
It's personal money.
License or a death certificate, and,
But it goes to him like it does to other counties that I talked to. It's his money.
but is his money up to $7,500?
Most counties around the state limited to that $7,500.
Those I talked to around here. That's the county.
Well, it puts money back in the fund to help run the office.
Well, I ain't a man to steal, and if it's his money, I ain't, but y'all vote like you want to, but I ain't no thief, and I ain't been to go there.
Why would you say it's stealing when he's talked to?
It don't matter. If you got an employee and you promised them a bonus at the end of the year, it don't concern your business, but you're gonna get it at the end of the year, you don't give it to them, ain't that stealing?
Well, that's a little different because it varies from year to year. You know, it's not money coming from the county. And the law basically authorizes counties by resolution. We've just never had one in this county.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, all these years it's never happened. I'm just gonna
The state as a whole, several years ago, did away with primarily the fee system as a means of paying the constitutional officers. The state put this in place with the right to limit, based on a couple of reasons. One, they know that the majority of the services that are due to be provided to do the vital records comes from the county office, the county staff, the county clerk, other county personnel doing that work. It's $7,500. There are a few counties that don't, the majority of counties around the state do set that limit of $7,500, and he understood it. When I had a conversation with him, for that flat, the money last year was over $19,000. That came in.
What about next year, if it ain't the 55,000, you gonna still get that 75,000?
7,500.
7,500? Well, 55.
He keeps the first $7,500 and everything after that comes into the county.
The salary's not changing.
The salary doesn't change at all. The salary does not change at all.
Salary set for state. Yeah.
Some information.
Got one made the motion, Wayne seconded. Roche, Steve. Y'all vote? Roche voted. Next on the agenda is approve or deny the budget resolution.
Mr. Chairman, yes, in the packet, there's a budget resolution for the county's general fund expenditures will be $8,020,450. Revenues are matching this budget. You have special fund revenues, special revenue budgets for E901 of $589,071, SPLOS of $1,750,000, and the T-SPLOS of $125,000. It's advertised, we've had the call meetings, and I submit the final budget for your, and the budget is the version dated 6/16/2014 at 15:22 is the final version that's submitted to accompany this resolution.
I need a motion. We made the motion, we got a second.
Second.
Roche, second, all those.
On this budget, what if this department is go with this budget, and then 14 years out? Oh, they all been cut, look me like. And some of them that I'm familiar with been cut, utilities on the fire department. They 5 county fire stations. Their budget was $4,500 last year, or this year. Now it's gonna cut $400. That won't even do, that won't even take care of those stations.
400.
Oh, God, I think he's up on the zero.
I thought we fixed that. I think we fixed that one.
Well, it ain't.
It's what it's showing on.
That
Well,
one.
we have some, it should have been 4,000, if that was still up there, they're gonna fix that. There's typically got $7,000 contingency funds in there to fix
Take
that.
care of it.
Right.
If they do. I knew $400.
No, it should have been 4,000.
Care of one station.
It should have been
Your
4,000.
trucks, you
Take care of that.
gonna take care of $400.
Yeah.
So that's gotta be changed.
Yeah.
If that, if they got, if it's took care of everybody, oh, I ain't got a problem with it.
Well, that's why we have about 7,000 contingency left to, for problems or other ones, anything like that.
If we did, I was looking at things, but did you, run at 60 last year? About 56.
Well, it's just based on their actual expenditures.
What page you on?
At 10.
You know, we based on what the current expenditures, their trends were.
Thank you, there.
In 2013, they were budgeted 30,000, they're currently now at 56,942.
Did you get the letter with that?
I got it as, and most of it we've already taken care of, we didn't have a separate ticket on it. And the rest of it we did capital projects, and that capital budget we had to do, we had a capital. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Somebody started and everybody voted.
Wayne,
I second it.
Get that out.
No, I just ain't sure. I don't want to go out and get my fire truck and not have a piece of fuel in it.
We'll get you,
We
we
don't
have
have a
this.
$400 budget.
We have these.
Next thing on the agenda, Russ, you're gonna have to help us out on this, I'll get you and Dwayne.
Okay.
Discuss the Learning Center, want to change the name of it to Abby Carnegie Learning Center, so I'm gonna let the Russ here.
Okay, I'm gonna lead off and then let Dwayne come and follow what it is. We all know that Ms. Carnegie has passed away. And she was a light in the community. She started a learning center. Started at Billing. Was speaking of the learning center, which is over here. So what myself and Mr. Johnson want to do, we want to change the name of the learning center to be Abby Carnegie Learning Center. Okay, that was my little spiel, Mr. Johnson.
Excuse me. Thank you all so much. I didn't think I was going to have to come and make a speech, but we are asking commissioners to do this for a lady that has given her time, and this was her home. Children were her life, and she wanted them to learn. And this will be a legacy for that name, Ms. Abby Carnegie. This commission gave them the opportunity to go over here. They gave it to her to educate our young people. And we appreciate what they done. And now that she's no longer here, as in the body form, but in her life, that will be a legacy for her. So we are asking you to change the Learning Center to the Abby Carnegie Learning Center so it will always be there in her name. We want to thank our editor for actually putting it in the paper to let the people know what this lady has done. And basically that's what we're asking. And I really didn't come to make a speech today, but we appreciate that. And I think everybody really knew Miss Carnegie. If you didn't, you missed a treat. This Hazelhurst and Jeff Davis County was her love, her home. But her ultimate goal was the education of our young people. And this is what the community league now that she was a member of is striving for, education for our church. You all have stood by us with the center that we've got now, with Happy Land, and we appreciate it. Children is the main goal. So we ask you to do that for us, please. Thank you.
Carl, on that thing, I think it's now the Jeff Davis Learning Center, is that right?
It is, I'm on that board.
Through all the tax exemptions and all this other stuff that we get over there, what we have to go through to change that, we did try to change.
That I have to talk to them and see, because I know there was a problem at one time when, I think you might have discussed this, when we were trying to split, there was another entity involved in it, and they said, well, they couldn't split away from them because then they wouldn't get the grant money.
Right.
I don't see how changing the name would, you're not really changing the dynamics of the learning center, you're just changing the name.
Well, it's just gonna be a sign out there for me.
But before, yeah, I have to change it with all the grant to the state.
See, last year, you and I had that meeting
Right.
with those people running all kind of,
What kind of conference?
Yeah.
So I would just suggest if you want to do it, then you make your motion contingent upon the fact that it's approved by the state.
I know that we were, because I was over there when that happened, and we had to just stop because it was going to stop the funding.
Yeah.
So I
Set
think,
their own
you know,
corporation.
do you know, Dwayne, about
I don't.
liability of the funding and stuff like that?
But you can adopt it, you know, based on, contingent upon approved by the state.
subject to anything that may come up.
Yeah. And I'll just get to make sure we get something in mind from the state.
Dwayne, I think it'd be nice to have a portrait of Miss Abby put in the lobby with a, you know, flag under it.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if we can do it till she looks all that legal stuff up, but at least go ahead and get the flag
We
and
can.
the portrait of her.
okay.
And I'll get back with you during the service, I know.
All right, thank you.
So if nobody's got any objections, then that subject to anything that may come up through the state or whatever on this thing, we change the name of Jeff Davis Learning Center to the Miss Abby Carnegie Learning Center.
I would go off on both until we find out.
But contingent upon, that way I'm going to think about it.
If everything's fine with it.
Everything, code and settings, so to speak.
Some other way to do something.
Okay.
There in or with or not.
I'll make a motion that we change it.
I second
Steve made a motion, Rosa second. All vote.
Let me state the reason. I'll never vote to name the building after anybody, or never vote to name the road after anybody. That's on this. Come back now, guys, it's nothing Miss Carnegie or anything, but I just, I said I would never do it, and I won't. So that's the reason I
It
did.
does bring them problems sometimes, like when those roads, we quit naming the roads because of putting people's names on the
They
road.
quit that several years ago. All right, that's it.
When, before you adjourn, I would need to ask one question. Go back to your report when we were talking about that striping contract, and maybe to vote to approve that.
Yes.
We didn't vote because it was during your report.
Okay, I did.
I just
I thought we voted on that meeting just over ago, we sent out, because we didn't get any bid, they sent out twice for the
Yeah,
bid.
we voted to do it, but then we didn't vote on the bid to give it to this man.
You didn't vote to enter into the contract.
Because when we voted on it, if you really want to know the truth about it, we voted on everybody was getting 5 miles in their district. Then the state come back and changed it, and they picked the roads that they were going to do it. So really, the best thing we can do is name the roads that's going to get done, because it's only getting done on certain roads that the state picked, not the ones that we picked.
Yeah, there's 34
We've
miles.
got a road, we've got a list of roads.
Yeah, the next one we voted on.
They've done up 34
It's
miles.
34 miles, I've got it here, but
It had
it's,
to be federal road.
it was part of the federal highway system, but it's county roads, but it's 34 miles of thermoplastic striping and sign. And we bid it out, and Pete from Columbus was the low bid with $189,999. And I've asked the county attorney to put a contract together with me and a motion to vote to enter into the contract. And it's no county money involved, it's all state and federal money, it's all federal money that's coming down.
Steve made a motion. Second. Rose, second. All vote.
If you ain't gonna find out, need to read, he said, I got to come on.
Well, I've never been in 65 years, so never been down. Only been next stop.
You know that you were trying to run out here with your CD. See y'all.
Let me catch these people. Hey, Steve.
I will leave it here on the share mark, and you'll come by and look for sure that the specs match what you put out. That's what we need. I had that chance to look at that.
Then when they hear, I hear you playing that.
Yeah, it's scheduled right. I thought I'd catch up to it before it started.
We gonna work on that, Steve.
Is that
Yeah. Got it on.
Yeah.
land out?
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna call you back.
All right, how much?
People like him getting it and pulling out.
You're gonna be messing with him a year from now.